to the Philippines, December 26, 1941, the day after Christmas. Jap bombers are coming. They're coming in spite of the fact that Manila was declared an open city to spare it from destruction.
During the dark years of World War II, from 1942 to 1945, the Philippines fell under the Japanese occupation.
During the Japanese occupation of the Philippines from 1942 to 1945, countless Filipino women became victims of sexual slavery under the so-called comfort system. Many of them were abducted from their communities or deceived with promises of work, only to be confined in military camps and garrisons where they were forced to serve Japanese soldiers. These women known as comfort women. When the Japanese Imperial Army invaded and occupied the Philippines, the occupation brought fear, poverty, and brutality. Civilians endured constant surveillance, food shortages, violence, and the destruction of communities, conditions that made women vulnerable to abuse, including sexual slavery.
Young Filipinas, many of them still teenagers, were abducted during the military raid or were deceived with promises of work.
Kailangan mong sumama sa kanila.
Tulad ka na rin ang amo mo. Isa kang traidor. Isa ka ng Diablo! Diablo ka!
Jubal na! Sasatukan!
Hindi!
The Japanese troops would enter communities and round up women at gunpoint. Families who resisted were often beaten, imprisoned, or killed. Japanese authorities and their Filipino collaborators lured young women with promises of employment, domestic service, nursing, or factory work. Recruiters told families that their daughters would be sent to work in offices, hospitals, or military kitchens. Once they were abducted, they were then raped repeatedly, physically abused, and lived in horrible conditions as they were treated as military supplies instead of as persons. Women who refused or tried to escape were tortured, beaten, or executed. Entire families could be punished if one member resisted recruitment.
The impact of this sexual violence on the victims was devastating both physically and psychologically. Most women ended up with serious injuries, sexually transmitted diseases, forced pregnancies, and persistent reproductive health problems that affected their ability to give birth. Survivors suffered emotional harm and carried trauma such as depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, shame, and fear of being rejected by society.
Many survivors attempted to pursue justice after the war, but they were turned away in both Japan and the Philippines. Courts rejected the Malaya Lolas and other groups' requests for recognition and restitution on technical grounds, claiming that the government had already resolved the issue with Japan.
Hanggat hindi bigyan ng katarungan, ng katayuan namin, siyempre, sugat ang aming damdamin. Hindi mawala ang sugat ng damdamin namin.
Filipino victims never received a full apology or state compensation because the Philippine government prioritized its political and economic relations with Japan. As their numbers decline, survivors still fight for justice, recognition, and remembering because of the governmental lack of assistance that left many of them feeling forgotten and erased.